Hey everyone, this is another review from Just Saying Film Reviews. I'm Brandon. John's not here today because he couldn't make it to the pre-screening. However, I'm here to review How to Train Your Dragon 2. This one takes place 5 years after the first How to Train Your Dragon, which I really didn't care for that much. I mean, I thought it was good, I just didn't think it was anything all that special. On our current rating system, I'd probably give it a That'll Do Pig. But I think this one was a vast improvement. This was not nearly as cheesy as the first one. In fact, in this one in particular, there seems to be a few genuinely dark moments in it. And I really loved that about it. Also, their relationships that they're doing between the people are, I think, really well done in this movie. Especially the one between Hiccup and Astrid, which could have easily been really overdone, but they provided just enough subtlety, and they did it in just the right way that you actually felt the connection and the chemistry between these two characters, being that they have been together for 5 years at this point. Also, getting the character of Stoic, played by Gerard Butler, voiced by Gerard Butler, but the way he had the father-son and even the father-future daughter-in-law relationship was really done well. So I think everything that they did with the characters, everything about the characters was really done well, really fleshed out in this one. I think a lot better than in the previous one. I really enjoyed the way that they did the story with this one. It actually seemed to have more of a plot than the previous one. I mean, there was a plot in the previous one, but it took far too long for it to really go anywhere with. For me, personally, this one actually does a good job of setting up and showing you kind of the direction that it's going to go in. So you can tell that from pretty early on exactly you feel like you're moving towards something instead of feeling like you're just running in circles, which I really liked. I said my only real complaint about this movie came near the end, where it got cheesy again. They really ramped up the cheese factor with it by the end, that I did not care for the ending all that much, because again it felt completely out of place with this movie that had some really heart-wrenching tear-up moments, as they would have fit into the previous movie, but in this movie with the darker tones at times, it just did not seem right. It did not fit as well. Everyone does well. All the actors, voice actors are great. They got the characters fleshed out to the point that I actually really enjoyed them. And all in all, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I was expecting to like it. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. The 3D they did with it, because once again I saw it in 3D, because that was what the pre-screening was in, was really subtle. And I think that if I was going to see a 3D movie, this is much more along the lines of the kind of 3D movie I would want to see. Because it had, just basically, it was hardly 3D at all. There were subtleties like that that gives you more of a level of distance, pulling to the back of the screen, but it really wasn't all that much 3D. It was actually even the point that, with some 3D movies, if you take off the glasses, you're just looking at like a Picasso painting. But with this one, if you actually took off the 3D glasses, it was blurry, but you could actually even still see the image. You can tell what was still going on, and it still looked good. With the 3D, the edges did not seem... They still seem blurry to me, even with the 3D glasses on. But that is, again, a very minor complaint, and not even really, I would say, the movie's fault, per se. So, on our current rating system, I would have to say I'm going to give this movie a...
That's a knife.
For those who don't know, that just basically means I think it's worth seeing opening night, opening week, whatever. Seeing full price in the big theaters. Because I really think it's that good. Again, the ending. If you just go in expecting, yeah, the ending is going to be a little cheesy, but the rest of the movie is going to take you on a pretty awesome ride, tell you a pretty great story, and it's just going to be genuinely worth your while, I believe. Not just a great kids movie, a great movie in general. And I would be surprised if we don't see this one in the Oscars this year for animated feature. So, that's my review of How to Train Your Dragon 2. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but you know that's just my opinion. You know, I'm just saying.